A teenage girl walking home from school, shot in broad daylight by the very person sworn to protect her. No weapon, no warning, just one trigger pull that nearly ended her life. But what her mother did next would shake the entire city, bring a corrupt system to its knees, and turn one family's pain into a nationwide movement you'll never forget. The sharp crack of a gunshot shattered the calm afternoon air, sending a flock of birds scattering into the sky. The peaceful hum of the quiet suburban street was replaced by chaos. For a split second, the world seemed to freeze. Neighbors paused mid-step, children's laughter vanished, and the sound of life itself was swallowed by shock. Just moments earlier, 17-year-old Amara was walking home from school. Her backpack felt heavy, but her spirits were light. Her favorite playlist filled her ears through a single dangling earbud. The late afternoon sun bathed the houses in a golden glow, and in her mind, she was already picturing the leftover chocolate cake waiting for her in the fridge. Life felt safe, predictable, ordinary. Then it happened. A deep, commanding voice sliced through the music. "Stop right there." The tone was sharp and aggressive, the kind of voice that sent a chill racing down your spine. Confused, Amara pulled out one earbud and turned. Her eyes landed on Officer Bradley, striding toward her with a hard glare, his hand gripping his holstered gun. She froze mid-step, her brows furrowing. Her hands instinctively lifted a little, palms open in a universal sign of compliance. What did I?" she began. But the sentence never finished. Bang! The sound was deafening, like the sky itself had cracked open. Pain exploded in her side, white-hot and searing. The force knocked her backward, sending her to the pavement. Her backpack slid off her shoulder, hitting the ground beside her. She gasped, struggling for breath. The warmth spreading beneath her was not sunlight. It was her own blood, pooling on the concrete. Neighbors' doors flew open. A chorus of voices erupted. Some screamed, others shouted for help. Phones appeared in trembling hands as bystanders recorded the horrifying scene. A woman's voice broke through the panic. "Somebody call an ambulance." Officer Bradley stood over her, his face disturbingly calm. "Suspect had a weapon," he barked, though Amara's hands were empty, except for the cell phone she'd been using moments earlier to text her mom. "On my way home." Her vision blurred, the edges darkening. The wail of approaching sirens grew louder, but her world was already slipping into shadow. When Evelyn, Amara's mother, got the call, the world tilted violently. A stranger's voice on the phone said words she would never forget. "Your daughter's been shot. She's on her way to the hospital." The grocery bag she was carrying slipped from her hands, apples rolling across the sidewalk. She didn't stop to pick them up. She didn't even lock the door. She just ran. By the time she burst into the hospital, her lungs burned, her chest heaved, and fear gripped her so tightly she could barely speak. A doctor intercepted her in the hallway, his voice heavy. "Your daughter's in surgery. We're doing everything we can." Her knees nearly gave out. She sank into a chair, hands trembling, whispering desperate prayers through sobs. "Please, God, don't take my baby." Hours later, the police released their official statement, claiming Amara matched the description of an armed suspect and failed to comply. Evelyn's grief turned to white-hot rage. Her daughter was an honor roll student, a library volunteer. She had never even held a weapon. The lies cut deeper than any bullet. The next morning, Evelyn stood outside the police station, a framed photo of Amara in her graduation dress clutched in her hands. Cameras flashed. "They will not get away with this," she told the microphones. "Not with my baby. I will fight until the truth is heard." That night, her fight began. Evelyn knocked on doors, her phone ready to record statements, her notebook ready for details. Some neighbors hesitated, fearing retaliation. But slowly, the truth emerged in shaky hands and determined eyes. One by one, they handed over video footage. When Evelyn finally watched the recordings, her stomach knotted. The truth was undeniable. Amara had been unarmed, standing still, when the officer fired. She uploaded the footage online. By sunrise, it had gone viral. Millions watched in outrage. Hashtags demanding justice exploded across social media. News anchors replayed the video on loop. Stories of other victims flooded Evelyn's inbox. But she didn't just want sympathy, she wanted accountability. She contacted civil rights lawyers, reached out to activists, and rallied community leaders. Within days, thousands of protesters filled the streets outside City Hall, their chants echoing through the city. Justice for Amara. The pressure mounted. The police department offered Evelyn a settlement, a large sum of money to drop the case. She slid the paper back across the table. No amount of money will erase what you did to my child. I don't want your hush money. I want the truth. Months later, the trial began. The courthouse steps were lined with reporters, activists, and families who had faced similar tragedies. Inside, the atmosphere was electric with tension. Evelyn sat in the front row, her hand clasped around Amara's. The scar on her daughter's side was a constant reminder, but so was her strength. When Amara took the stand, the room went silent. I didn't run. I didn't threaten anyone. I was just trying to go home. The defense painted Officer Bradley as a man following protocol, but the jury saw the truth in the video and in Amara's steady, unshakable voice. After 2 long days, the verdict came. Guilty of aggravated assault and misconduct. Gasps filled the courtroom. Evelyn's tears fell freely as Amara whispered, "We did it, Mom." But Evelyn didn't stop there. She launched a foundation in Amara's name, fighting racial injustice and police brutality. She spoke at schools, rallies, and national conferences. Her voice carried the weight of countless untold stories. Amara lived, she would say, but there are empty chairs at dinner tables all over this country because others didn't. Together, mother and daughter pushed for change, and they got it. New laws now required all officers in their state to wear body cameras and undergo racial bias training. Every time Evelyn told their story, she ended with the same unwavering words. They tried to break us, but we're still here, and we're louder than ever. This is the Hidden Chapters, where the untold stories are finally heard. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.